Good evening and welcome to another edition of An Hour with Bob. And I know it's still daylight out, but we are doing the show here at Epic Assisted Living in Providence, Rhode Island. And that's because I'm in here, I'm stuck in here, and I figured I don't like missing shows. In 23 years, we've missed, what, 6, maybe 7 shows, and I don't like missing shows. So we're doing An Hour with Bob here on location at Epic. And with us today is a very familiar face from Channel 12 Weather in the morning, Michelle Muscatello. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
Nice to have you here. Now, is this late for you? This is, I know it's the afternoon. It's still pretty early.
This is sort of round 2, the beginning of round 2 for me usually. So I'd be getting off of work,
right,
and going home to the 3 little ones. So
yeah, 3 kids.
3 kids.
Now, you just had one. How long ago?
Yep. So in January, I had my 3rd. So I've got a little boy, Charlie, who's 5 and a half. He's going to kindergarten in the fall.
The first time you were on my show, I think, or maybe the second
or third time.
Yeah, second or third time. Yeah, one of the times you were on my show, you just had the little one.
And then my 2nd is a little boy, Andrew, who's 3 and a half.
Yeah.
All Spitfire, that one.
Yeah.
He's a good time. And then I just had a baby girl, Ellie, who is 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how do you do it? How do you maintain your personality is such that you're always smiling, you always seem to be happy, and I'm amazed.
Ask my kids that question at, like, bath time.
Really?
Well.
Are you a tough mom?
I think that no, I don't. I think that we work together as a team, the kids and I do.
Really?
I think so. I mean, I grew up with fairly strict parents, so I was sort of raised to be that. I want them to be respectful. I always say to my boys, like, I don't care what you do for the rest of your lives, in terms of your career, but just be kind people. That's like number 1 for me. Choose kindness every time above all else.
Really?
Choose to be kind to people, and I think it'll get you far. So that's sort of number 1 on my list of character traits I want them to have, and then we kind of go from there. But every parent will tell you that time from 5 to 7 is the witching hour, whether they're a month old or 15 years old, apparently, right, from what I've heard. So that time of day, after I've been up since 2:15 in the morning, is challenging.
Well, that's what I was going to get to. You get up at 2:15 in the morning, and you got to deal with going to work.
Yep.
You work from what?
3:30. 3 till
3 o'clock.
Yep. And then 3 days a week it's till 1 in the afternoon, and then 2 days a week I'm done a little early at 9 o'clock. So.
And then you got to go home and you got to play mom.
Yep.
And
wife.
Hat.
Yes. That's an important job too.
That is too.
Yep.
Pete. No, Pete. Does he work with you? Or?
He is in the sales department at Channel 12.
You don't see him that often.
You know what? Every once in a while, if it's a quiet weather day and he's getting in a little early, we can grab a coffee. We'll go in the car, go through Dunkin' Donuts drive-through, and and have our 5-minute conversation. How'd the rest of the night go? Good. How'd breakfast go? Okay, it was fine. We catch up on each other and then go our separate ways.
Wow.
So life is busy, but it's good. It's a good life. I feel really blessed.
Now, how do you maintain this, though? I've never seen you come in. Now, everybody has their down times, and I don't see it with you. I watch it every day. I say, I'm going to see her, not that I'm looking for her, but I always see, I say, look at this kid. I said, she always looks happy.
Oh, thanks.
She always looks dressed perfectly.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think it's a lot of smoke and mirrors some mornings. I definitely feel tired. As the week goes on, it's more under eye makeup each morning, just to brighten it up. And I think, it's trial and error in terms of figuring out what looks good on you for TV. And sometimes I still, as we talked about, they're not all winners, but it's a fun job. I love working with Pat and Danielle in the mornings. We really are more than just a team. We're really good friends. Pat and my husband grew up sharing a backyard. And
really? In Barrington?
They've been friends since they were teeny tiny, and we're his daughter's godparents. So, just a really close relationship, and Danielle's one of my best friends here in Southern New England. So I think that teamwork and that companionship that we have on air and off air helps us in the mornings, because I think people want to wake up to people who like each other and who are friendly.
And you can tell. Yeah. You can tell when they don't.
Yes, you can tell.
On the Today Show, that happened on the Today Show.
And it's, people are not, the viewers are not stupid. They know. They can tell. They can read through those things. So, and I think people can tell when you like what you do and you're passionate about what you do. So the compliments about my clothing are always nice to hear, but the best compliment anybody can ever give me is that they can tell that I'm accurate or that I care about my job. So those are like the two best compliments that I can receive.
I was going to get to that. I was going to get to how you establish what you're going to say and as far as the weather report and all that stuff.
It's a lot of science. I mean, people don't think necessarily or don't always realize that we are analyzing the weather data and coming up with the forecast and putting the maps together. So it's part scientist, part graphic artist, and part sort of performer, where you get up and are able to speak clearly about what people need to know to plan their week for the weather.
And the fact that there's nothing on that wall when you're pointing to it, right?
That's the easiest part of the job, though.
But it's the opposite. It's the opposite.
It's a little bit like looking in the mirror. So I always tell, when I go into schools, I tell the girls, it's like learning to French braid your hair in the mirror. So, you know,
what
you're
do you
looking in the mirror.
boys?
It's learning to tie a tie. It's like looking in the mirror and learning to tie a tie by looking in the mirror. It's the same thing. So it's just that a reflection of what you're doing. So instead of a mirror, I'm looking in a television monitor and I'm seeing myself with that map behind me.
Folks, for those that don't know it, it's called chroma key. And
yes.
They have a blank screen. It's either a green screen or a blue screen, and that screen has nothing on it, but it's into the camera. Somehow it works out that I don't understand the workings of how that happens, but somehow the camera tells it not to see that color, and it projects the maps that you put in, right?
Yep, and the technology is such that you cannot wear the color that's on the chroma key.
Because you'll be invisible.
You will become part of the map. So I always say it'd be a great Halloween joke or April Fool's Day thing to wear green and just be that floating head and floating hands doing the weather. My bosses don't think that's funny, though.
No, they don't think it's funny?
No.
Well, they probably don't want people to realize what in fact happens behind
Well,
the
you know,
scenes.
it's serious what we do. I think that there's only maybe a handful of days out of the year where our forecast really, like, sometimes people's lives depend on it and their safety depends on it. And a lot of the other times on a beautiful day like this, where you're talking about temperatures 85 to 90 degrees, it's fun to get up there and talk about a great summer day in New England, because we know that we live for these days in the winter time. But there are other times where that science and that education that you have is very important to people, and you have to be the scientist that people trust to give them the information that they need.
Now, do you, when you pick especially in the wintertime, when you pick the snow totals.
Oh, that's why I've had every baby in the winter, so I can just take the winter off. I don't have to worry about those accumulation maps.
That what it is?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't planned that way, but it was nice sitting at home and watching Toni and TJ and Pete sweating over their accumulation maps. So,
really?
you know what? It's hard. You know, we think about drawing those lines. A lot of, you know, a lot of science, a lot of crunching numbers behind the scenes to figure out where those accumulation maps go.
Now, when you make your accumulation maps, do you take into account Toni's?
Oh yeah, we work together.
Yeah.
And we're always talking either by email or telephone or leaving notes for each other, or hey, did you see the new European model just came in and has the storm a little bit further out to sea, and we'll talk about how that'll affect the total. So we do try and work together as a team. I think it wouldn't be good for us to have one meteorologist in the evening saying,
call in 8 to 12.
It's going to be all 8 to 12, and the other one says it's going to be all rain. You know, we have to be able to work together and look at the same information and come up to at least a similar, I mean, new information comes in between my shift and his shift and my shift the following morning. So we trust each other to make adjustments, but we try not to have it be too drastic.
A little bit of a change. Now, all of the meteorologists.
Yeah, we do. We all work together. We've got a good team. Everybody at Channel 12 and the weather team has been there for a long time now. So we're a real cohesive team, and you know, appreciate all of the good qualities that everybody brings to the table.
Now, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Western Pennsylvania.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, north of Pittsburgh, and met my husband in South Carolina. And he's a
Rhode Islander.
He's a Rhode Islander. So,
a Barringtonite.
Barrington, yep. So we moved back here. It'll be 10 years in September to be closer to his family. Just sort of rolled the dice to see, you know, whether we go close to his family or my family.
Right.
And the right job opened up here for both of us. So we moved back up here, and we love it. I mean, I think we are putting our roots down here for sure. My oldest is starting kindergarten in the fall, and we're thrilled with, you know, the friends that he's made and the neighborhood that we're in, and just feel happy to have great in-laws that are just a mile or two down the road.
Yeah. Now, how is it going to be when your little one, the oldest one is, what's his name?
Charlie, he's 5.5.
Charlie's 5.5.
Yeah.
He's going to start kindergarten.
Yep.
And you go to work at 2:30 in the morning. You got to miss that first day of work, right?
I'm going to try to. I'm going to put in for a vacation day for his first day of kindergarten. They're good about that sort of thing. They understand, you know, big family events, big moments like that. They don't want us to miss.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
As long as it's not in the ratings period.
Well, you got 2 ratings periods, right?
Well, 3 big ones.
3?
February, May, and November.
November, right.
Those are the 3 big ones.
Yeah?
Yep.
And how's your ratings?
You know, we have been doing great in the mornings. There was a time where our competition was far ahead of us, and now it's a lot of mornings neck and neck, and I think everywhere we go we hear people saying that they love our chemistry, they love the Eyewitness News brand that we bring in the mornings, that we're, you know, we don't waste time on a lot of fluff. We get the important news out there, we talk about the weather, traffic where it needs to be talked about, and we try and give people what's new, what's happening right now, and what's going to be happening later in the day, and let them, you know, plan for their day. And so I think that's resonating with people. Everywhere I go, more and more people are saying, I've made the switch to Channel 12. It's nice to hear.
Well, yeah, it is. Absolutely, it's nice to hear. Speaking of nice to hear, we have Mark Cutler here today.
Very nice.
And Mark's going to give us a song, right, Mark?
Yes, I am.
We'll be right back after we hear from Mark Cutler on An Hour with Bob. Thank you.
Come on out to the woods with me. A shot of cars and a dead oak tree. Down the path through the rustling leaves, where darkness covers like a canopy. Feel the wind wind and spin, big old pines sway and bend. Love a girl, set you free. Well, if you just come out to the woods with me. I'll show you my secret treasure map. It's got a big old X where the treasure's at. Got a bag of gold in a treasure trunk. I got a cracked glass eye and assorted junk. Feel the wind wind and spin, big old pines sway and bend. Love a girl, set you free. Well, if you just come out to the woods with me. There's a babbling brook and some stuff I took. Come with me, child, take a look. Not too far from the fishing hole, where the demons and the devils try to hook your soul. Feel the wind wind and spin, big old pines sway and bend. Love a girl, I'll set you free. Well, if you just come out to the woods with me, come on out to the woods with me. Just come out to the woods with me. Come on out to the woods with me.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
So good.
Mark Cutler's been around a long time. He does some great work. Yeah. Very talented. Very talented individual. All right. We're back with Michelle Muscatello from, you still call it Eyewitness News?
Yep, from Eyewitness News this morning.
This morning.
Yes.
Eyewitness News this morning with Patrick
Little and Danielle North.
Danielle North. Now, Danielle's been there a while too, right?
Yeah, Pat and Danielle have me like lapped big time with how many years they've been at Channel 12. So I think Pat's,
I think Patrick started when he was 9 or something.
17 years at Channel 12,
Is
maybe?
he really?
Yeah.
And he still looks like a little kid.
He just had an anniversary. Yeah, he looks great, doesn't he? And Danielle's not too far behind him, maybe 15 years off. I mean, she took a couple years there when her kids were around the age mine are, and took a few years, I think. But always sort of stayed in the mix, and so we've been a team in the mornings now for maybe 4 or 5 years, the three of us. So it's been fun.
Yeah, yeah. It was fun also that Patrick made that switch from being a sportscaster at night to a morning. He did the road show initially, right?
And the news.
And the news.
Yep.
And then he switched off totally to the morning thing.
And it's been a good fit for him, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That sports gig is, they work hard in sports. Not that they don't work hard in weekend or weekday morning news, but I do. My husband used to do it.
Was in the sports.
You know, they wear many hats in the sports department. So I think Pat and, the morning news, you need a good personality. You need somebody who can ad-lib. And after all those years of doing sports, Pat's very good at that. Yeah, yeah. No, he's done well. And like you say, the 3 years are a great fit when you're all sitting there together. Yeah. And somebody will say something. Oh, yeah. And everybody knows each other well enough that it just, I think the banter happens very naturally. Yeah, yeah. Now, when you get to storms, now do you get really nervous when there's a storm coming? I mean, I think the hardest part of the storm are the days leading up to it. When you're forecasting the storm, as the storm is actually unfolding, we're just sort of riding the wave and hoping that it plays out the way we anticipate it playing out. And that we've prepared people adequately, but the technology has gotten really good. So we, for the most part, I think have done a good job of warning people some of the major storms of the last couple of years, with Sandy, with Irene, with the blizzard that we had a couple of years ago. So I think those were all fairly well forecasted storms and well behaved storms, and that they played out the way we envisioned them playing out. And it doesn't mean that they don't have as much of an impact, but if we can at least say and warn people, then I think we've done our job. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of hours. You feel like your heart rate going up a little bit as you see that, maybe big storm coming up the coastline. And New England is one of those tricky places to do a long range forecast for tropical systems, for blizzards, because a lot of it is so track dependent. That if the track shifts even 75, 100 miles one direction or another, which is very small in the scale of the Earth. And can happen very easily. And it happens very easily, then your forecast can totally change. And so we always say to people, initially the thought is, listen, there's potential. It's still too far away to say which way it's going to go, but this is what we're thinking. These are the sort of scenarios that could play out, and this is why you need to stay tuned. Now, the national, it surprises me that, unless it's not there anymore, that National Weather Forecast Bureau is in Taunton, is it not? Yep, there's National Weather Service office in Taunton. Why is that in Taunton? It just seems odd. Well, I think it's a nice central location. Oh, it is? Yeah, so, the radar's there. It sweeps over Rhode Island, over central Connecticut, western Connecticut. It helps sort of crisscross. So there's one in Islip, New York, on Long Island. You've got one in Albany, Maine, and then you've got the Taunton one. So it's a nice central location for southern New England to be able to track those storms. Do you get information from all of them? Oh yeah, we're clued into all of those. The radars that they have there, the Doppler radar, and all of the forecasting tools that they have, we can have access to, which is nice.
So when it comes right down to it, when you're predicting weather, it's all on how you look at the weather, all the weather maps and all the information you've accumulated.
Well, there's nowcasting. It's looking at the current conditions, the temperatures, the dew points, the wind directions, wind speeds, what's happening right now. And then there's the forecasting aspect where you take what's happening now across not just here in Rhode Island, but the United States, North America, the entire globe, depending on what computer model you're looking at, and the weather models try and predict out what's going to happen from what's happening right this second. So they'll do an initialization period, and then they'll go out in the future. And sometimes a line I'll steal from Toni is, they're all in the same church, but they're sitting in different pews.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So
Yes.
they might be saying that, they're all saying there's a storm that's going to form at the end of the week, but one has it impacting us, one has it too far out to sea, one has it close enough that it's bringing us rain, the other one has it all snow. So it's trying to figure out which one has the best grasp on what's going to happen. And we learn some of their bias that they have in certain seasons.
What do you mean bias?
So we'll know that like the global forecast model, the GFS, will sometimes at day 3 drift further out to sea than it actually will. And then within that 3-day period, it'll start to get a little bit closer to the coast. So you may see that 3-day out forecast and say, oh, it's trending further out to sea.
Right.
We won't change our forecast because we know this is just what this is what the GFS does.
Right, and it's going to move
We're going to
closer.
wait before we, jump on the bandwagon of it missing us. We're going to hold and wait and see what happens with it as we get closer to time. So, you sort of learn that as well. And some computer models have done exceptionally well in some storms, and others sometimes in a season just don't perform well.
Now, do you find when you're out and about and people see you,
Yeah.
are they more friendly when it's nice days and less friendly when it's a snow day or bad weather? Do they blame you?
I get a lot of blame, sometimes credit. So I always say to people though, like, I can't take the credit because then I'd have to take the blame.
Right.
So I try to just say, oh yeah, that is a beautiful day. Glad I got that one right. But it's it's a humbling job. It's a humbling job. I mean, people like to joke about meteorologists, but we work hard. We take our accuracy very seriously, and sometimes it's still an inexact science. So I think for the most part we do pretty well forecasting the weather in southern New England, which can be a tricky place to forecast. But people are super friendly. I mean, especially I feel like my family has all happened under the watch of Rhode Islanders and southeastern Massachusetts residents, where I started at Channel 12 as a 25-year-old newlywed, and people have been with me through the birth of 3 children.
Right.
So I think people feel pretty connected to me, and I to them, and it's nice when people come out and they'll know all 3 kids as I see them in the grocery store, and they'll say, oh, hi Charlie, hi Andrew, hi Ellie, and they know everybody. So it's nice that people have welcomed me into their homes for this many years.
Well, it's a show like this that also gives you the opportunity to for people to know you better than they know you on TV, where you forecast.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have a lot of time to talk about our families, but I think social media has sort of done a good job of that too,
that's
where
true. Yeah.
People expect to be able to know you a little bit more through Facebook or Twitter, and you put yourself out there a little bit.
Yeah, there's no doubt that makes a huge difference. But does anybody ever get really down on you when you're out and about and it's a bad snowstorm or something like that?
I think that everybody complains about the weather, and not everybody complains about the weather, but there's going to always be somebody who's going to complain about the weather, no matter what season you're in.
Well, they'll complain about anything
They
anyway.
either love the snow, they hate the snow. They love the heat, they hate the heat. It's not hot enough in June. It's not cold enough at night. Like, there's always something that somebody's not happy about. I think for the most part, people are super friendly to me and understand that we're the messenger.
Don't
we
shoot the
don't
messenger.
control it. And people, I feel bad sometimes if I'll get a lot of emails from a bride, somebody that's got a wedding coming up, and they'll see the forecast for rain, and is there any way
you can change it?
Is there any way that this is not going to happen? The rain's not going to happen? And I'll say, well, so I'll try and at least give them like a bet. Here's the timing of it. Here's what I'm thinking for that area, or this chance. Like if you're up in in Woonsocket, you've got a slightly higher chance of a thunderstorm than if you're down in Newport, and that's where the wedding is. So, you know, we try and just give them as much detail of forecast as I can give them.
Give them a little chance, a little hope, right?
Yeah, and then, you know, if you need to rent the tent, you got to rent the tent.
There you go, and you do it ahead of time.
Yep, it's the weather. You can't control it.
All right, well, I'm glad you stopped by.
It's so good to be here. It was nice chatting with you. It's been a while.
I know, and I can't believe it. Well, it seems I have you come around, or I have you on every time you just had a baby, because I'm amazed at how you bounce back.
Oh, thank you.
You look like you're a 25-year-old college kid, a 22-year-old college kid.
Well, thank you. I told you before, I think part of it's good genes. Part of it's that I stayed active, and I was saying I've got an amazing Zumba studio that I go to in Bristol that I swear by, and I did that all the way through my pregnancy.
All the way to the last day?
Yeah, I mean, I did a big snowstorm Friday, went to Zumba Saturday morning and said, do a lot of squats. I'm done. I don't want to do any more snowstorms this winter, and had the baby Sunday.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
So, yeah, I've been lucky. I had easy, healthy pregnancies and good deliveries and healthy babies after that. So I feel pretty lucky.
And nothing special, I mean, that other than the Zumba thing,
honestly, I mean,
nothing woman can look at and say, well, how did she do it? Because people have asked me.
I know. I also swear by, I've nursed all 3 of my kids, and that's, people will tell you, usually is a good sort of way to burn off the calories and the extra weight, so that's helped. I feel like my metabolism always kind of kicks into overdrive after I've had my kids, so I actually end up like kind of dropping below my comfort weight for a while post having the babies. I don't know, I probably shouldn't admit that, but I do, and then I even out after like a year or so. But I don't know, chasing 3 little ones,
that'll do it.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
And my solution, it was a long winter because it was so cold this winter. Being at home with a newborn, I couldn't have her outside when it was, never got above 25 degrees. And my solution for the boys, and boys are busy. I'm always like, go outside, go, get dressed. I don't care if it's raining or snowing.
Well, that's good you do that.
We go outside.
Parents don't do that anymore.
Ugh. That's the only way I can survive the afternoon sometimes.
Really?
I'm like, go get your sillies outside. We all bundle up and get out the side.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you. It was nice to be here, and I hope you feel better.
Yes. Well, I don't feel bad. Just a knee. I'm waiting for a knee. I got to wait a while, I guess, before they can put a new knee in because of the infection.
Well, I hope it goes well.
Yeah. It's on order. The new knee's on order.
Is it going to be here by Christmas?
I hope not. I may be here for my birthday, though, in September.
Oh, man.
I hope not, though.
Well,
anyway,
we'll be thinking about you.
Thank you. And thank you for stopping by.
My pleasure.
Michelle Muscatello, you can see it any weekday morning, right? From what, 4:30?
4:30 until 9,
Oh
and then several days a week I do the noon newscast as well.
Wow. Well, great. Thanks for stopping by.
Glad to be here.
We'll be right back. We got to see Mark Cutler's got to do another song for us.
Walking the floor for 3 days and nights, from Good Friday to Easter Sunday. Now it's Monday and you're still confused. You're singing the blues. In a corner you're crying. There's too many stars and not enough sky. Tires screech, I hear the whistle blow. You can't go out until a full moon shows. Are you hungry for something? Do you wish you could fly? There's too many stars and not enough sky. At the speed of light, they say, time stands still. You're a lonely wolf, you're howling at the top of the hill, and your mate is gone. You never try not enough sky. Now make your plan and don't make a stand. Well, you've been told you might get hurt if your thoughts are heard. And keep your secret locked and keep it safe inside. There's too many stars and not enough sky. Keep your secret locked, keep it safe inside. There's too many stars and not enough sky. Not enough sky. Not enough sky. Oh, not enough sky.
Hi, we're back on an hour with Bob. Thanks to our good friend Mark Cutler. And a new guest has joined us, Toni Lynn Spaziano.
How you doing?
A designer.
Fashion designer.
Fashion designer. We go back a while.
Yeah, I've been
When
doing
did
it
we
for
first meet? I was trying to think when we first met.
quite a few
Remember?
years ago. I think, yeah, when I was dating David Caprio. I think that's when it was, maybe.
Oh.
Way back in the day. That was
Way
about
back in the day. How many
19
years?
years? 19 years ago.
19 years
Yeah.
ago. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm getting old, Bob. Getting old.
Yeah. Oh, 19 years ago. Holy cow.
Or 18, I think.
Yeah?
Kids just turned 18, so yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny's kids.
Now you grew up in Rhode Island.
I grew up in Rhode Island, yeah.
Yeah. Where? Where are you from?
I'm from Warwick and Cranston. I grew up in Warwick until I was 6. My parents got divorced and moved to Cranston, went to school there until 7th grade, and then my mom got remarried and moved back, so I graduated from Tollgate.
Oh,
so
no
I
kidding.
call myself Cranston and Warwick, like, and people are always like, I'm from both places.
Well,
you know?
well, that's close
Yeah.
enough. Cranston
Yeah.
and Warwick.
Yeah.
It's not like Woonsocket and Westerly.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah,
It's
very
close
true,
enough.
very true.
So what do you design? Other than, do you design any of this stuff you
this
got
is
on?
this is one of my dresses from spring. Not last year, the year before. So this is one of my dresses that
It's a
went
good
down
color on
Broadway.
you anyway,
Oh,
by
thank
the
you
way.
so
It's a
much.
very good
Yeah,
color on
I've
you.
worn it a couple times now. So actually, Julia Stiles bought this dress in the short version. She
Really?
yeah, was in a showroom in Newbury Street, and she went in there with her stylist and bought it. So that was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've had a couple of celebrities wearing my wares, which is
Well, that's got to be
incredible.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that really makes it. That really says something.
Oh yeah,
about you,
definitely.
right?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's been my dream since I was 8 years old to be a fashion designer. So
Now, do you design the jewelry too, or?
I made this jewelry. Yeah, I made this and this. This I didn't. This is a thing from QVC. It was like a Sex in the City necklace
Right.
that they did a mock-up of it.
And how about the bracelets?
Oh, the bracelet I got also one. Yeah, but
Yeah?
the chains and stuff like that. I do hair pieces. I do everything.
Now this year you got a lot of activity with the girls, our friends from
Yep.
Mrs. Rhode Island and
Mrs.
Mrs.
Rhode Island, yep, they're
Massachusetts.
gonna be on Game of Crowns.
Lynn
Yeah.
and Susanna.
Yeah, and
right?
Lorianne, yep.
Lorianne.
Yeah, they're all wonderful, wonderful people. I partnered up with Susanna about 7 months ago to do a children's line, and we showed our children's line in New York City, and actually we just showed a bathing suit line. So I've been partnered up with her. Before that, I was doing Style Week. Still doing Style Week.
Right.
But yeah, I love Style Week has been an unbelievable platform. Rosie, Jonathan, they're just amazing. What they've brought, designers that are brand new, it has brought a platform for us to show, where you wouldn't be able to have before. And
Right,
luckily, by the grace of God, I was able to ask to show in, Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, and I've shown twice now, and I'm just amazed because I've only been designing for under 3 years. So
Really?
yeah, it's been under.
So you
3
just
years.
come back from New York City?
Yeah, I just came back
didn't
from New York City. We did our swim line at the Pennsylvania Hotel in Midtown, I think. Yeah, so that was a fun thing. It's quick in, quick out. Susanna's always, in and out, in and out. So
She's an amazing girl.
she is.
She
I love
really
her.
is.
She's been an absolute blessing to me. I'm the designer, and she's she takes over the business part, and that's exactly what I needed. I needed a partnership that I could just be concentrating on the designs,
Right.
and not having
Do
to
what you
try
do
to
best and have somebody else take care of
Because
other
having,
parts,
I
right.
have learning disabilities. I'm severely dyslexic, and I was in special ed as a child, so I never thought I could pursue my dream. of designing, because I went to school and it was just too complicated for me. College was just like, it was just too much. It was too overstimulating, and yeah, my dyslexia was just too much for me to learn and like that.
So how did you overcome it in order to design?
Well,
how do you deal with
I
that?
had to kind of. I met this little boy named Chance about 8 years ago. I saw him on a TV show called Little People, Big World, and he's a dwarf. He's a little person, and at the time.
Oh, he's out in California.
He's out in California. Yep, I go visit him quite often.
Because I see him on your Facebook.
Yeah, he's on my
all
Facebook all the time. Yeah, he's my little guy. He's my angel. So I saw him. I got in contact with him and his family by seeing him on the show, and I had an operation slightly there afterwards, and I can't have my own children, so it just became like I wanted to start a foundation to help children. So like I named it after him, and it was called the Chancellor Foundation, Team Chance. And then I just got inspired, like, what I'm just gonna. So while I was recuperating from my surgery, like it took about a year to recuperate from the surgery I had.
Right.
And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just do it. If Chance can do this, if he can start talking and walking and eating and all these things, then I can do it too.
So when you met him, he didn't do any of those,
No,
right?
he couldn't. He was in diapers. He had a trach. He had a tummy tube. He was walking on a walker. And he's just,
And
now
how old was he then?
He was
6?
6.5. Yeah, 6. And now he's 13. And he's almost 14. And he's just been my inspiration. I call him my little Buddha because he's like, he's a gift from God. Like he could be the next Dalai Lama for all I know, honestly.
And you go out and see him every so often?
Yeah, I go and see him once a month or once every other month.
Oh,
I go
really?
out quite a bit. Yeah, it's very expensive, but I love Laguna Beach, and I love, thank God he doesn't live in Siberia or something like that. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with Siberia, but California's gorgeous. So
I don't think you're offending too many people around here about Siberia.
And I'm in my heart, I'm a California girl.
Yeah?
Honestly, I've lived out there before, and spending a few months, when it's combined, it's spending about 4 months out there a year. So for the past 7-8 years. So, yeah, so I decided to start designing, and it was just, oh my goodness, it just took off from there. I started at Style Week, and actually the first show I did was for, it was for like a youth group, like troubled children. And that was my first show actually 3 years ago this week. And then it just went into starting Style Week and doing that for a few seasons. And then I met Susanna, and it's just been amazing. I've been nominated for Designer of the Year twice, won ready-to-wear designer, dressed, a bunch of celebrities. Paula Abdul was at one of my shows. So that was wonderful. It's just been a gift from God and a blessing, honestly, to do what I love, and to also, part of the proceeds go back to help children in need.
Oh, that's very
so
nice.
that's So if I sell a dress like this, 10% goes back to help children in need.
Oh,
I've
that's
gotten
pretty
children
nice.
heart transplants and helping a summer camp and everything. So yeah, it's been wonderful.
Now tell us a little about the Bravo show with the ladies there.
Oh,
with
yes.
Susanna and Lynn.
I haven't. When they were filming the first time was when I met Susanna at a fashion show. They were doing a kids fashion show, and she had come up to me and then asked a mutual friend of ours, would she design? Because I have always designed some children's clothing, and because my line was named after Chance, I named it Chances Are Designs. So Susanna.
Chances Are, that's a song,
Oh yeah, Chances Are, yeah.
That's my mother's favorite song.
Oh really?
Yeah,
okay.
That's a song by Johnny Mathis.
Oh well, yeah, I know. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That's right.
Chances Are.
But it's with so it's Chances Are with a capital R in the middle. But now since Susanna and I partnered up, it's called Bound by the Crown by Chances Are Designs. So we did a children's line with her for her daughter, because her daughter's a little celebrity, Isabella Barrett. She's a firecracker. And so we did that, and we do mommy and me looks, and we're doing bathing suits now, and we're just doing everything. And their TV show, I was at the preview of it. I mean, it's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be a wild ride.
I know. I saw.
I probably won't be on this season. I might be on the fashion show, but we're going to the Mrs. USA pageant, and I'm designing her gown, her suit, her bathing suit for that. And Bravo is going to be filming that. So
you're designing Susanna's gown.
Yeah, Susanna's everything. Yeah, so it's been.
Now, how about Lynn? Now, Lynn is actually their best friend.
Yeah, they're best friends.
And they're going to compete with each other.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know a lot about that. They're best friends, and nothing could ever come between them. So it's like they'd be happy for whoever won.
They
honestly.
were very inspirational in our Toys for Tots this year. This past year.
And Susanna has an incredible story about her daughter. being bullied, and she got beaten up really badly and had to have plastic surgery. So we're really into anti-bullying, and we're doing a campaign with Chrissy Latham called Models Against Bullies, and I'm going to be one of them because I was bullied as a child as well, because I was in special ed classes,
Right,
and everything. So just, yeah, it's been wonderful.
But I saw the preview, I guess.
Yes, I was at the premiere.
And
Yeah.
my God, that woman. Who's the woman that Lynn battles with? They obviously don't like each other.
I think her name's Vanessa. I've never really met her, so I really I don't know. I know that from what I've seen on TV that they don't like each other. So, but I can't really get into it much more than that because I don't really know much more. And I always want to be peace, love, and happiness. I don't want to get into the drama. I'm not in for the drama.
Well, that's not good TV, though. They want the drama. They want the fighting.
No, that's true. That's true. They can do the fighting. I'll do the designing.
I see Lynn. They say Lynn cries a lot in the
yeah,
show.
I've seen her on the on the things because a lot of just women are vicious. Women are vicious and
more vicious than guys.
Well, gay men are pretty vicious. I have to say.
Well, I'm not talking about gay
but I'm
men.
saying
I'm talking about straight men.
No. Yes, women can be very vicious. Yes, very vicious. Yeah,
because guys let it go.
Yeah,
guys just do it. They get in an argument, they get in a fight, and then they go have a beer together.
Yeah, exactly. And nothing against gays or anything like that. All my friends are gay. My assistant
I'm
is.
your friend,
you know
and I'm
what I
not.
mean? Yeah. but yeah, I just because I work with everyone I work with is and it's the fashion industry, even in Rhode Island, is extremely cutthroat. It's extremely cutthroat. I've had a few times where I've wanted to bow out and just go back into my Zen state and do yoga and meditate. So it's been a wonderful, beautiful ride, but it's also been a tough ride. It's been a lot of strain and stress, but it's I'm so happy to do it, and especially to help children in need. So, and to have met Susanna and Lynn and Lori Ann, they're just amazing.
Now you brought us some clips. What do you got for us?
Yes, we have some clips from the fashion shows from New York and from Style Week and from the bathing suit line, the children's line, and the adult line. So, and the Mommy and Me looks as well. So.
I'm just a kid. I wanna have fun. I'm just a kid. I wanna have fun. They say I'm cute and sweet. From my head to my feet. And when I rock the stage, people wanna know my name. And I'm just a girl in this big old world, but I'm ready to put on a show. And I'm still so young, so I wanna have fun. Come on, let's go, let's go. I'm just a kid, I'm having fun. I'm being the best friend forever with everyone. I'm just a K-I-D, having F-U-N. I hope this time never ends. We're all just kids, we wanna have fun. This ain't a role I play. No, this is just who I am.
I think it went excellent. Working with the kids is absolutely fantastic. They're really good sports, and I think even too when they go out there, they sell their entire personality to all the viewers. They were really great to work with. I love it.
Bound by the Crown Couture.
Done any of this today without my good friend Lynn Diamante for the kids' sunglass line that we're actually co-launched today. I mean, who can't stand a pair of cat-eye glasses? I'm telling you, I might be tempted to wear them. Yes, Bound by the Crown Couture.
I hope this time never ends. We're all just kids, we wanna have fun.
I think everything went absolutely amazing. The venue is beautiful. First time showing in New York. My first full kids collection. I think it went really great. As good as can be expected. I think it was beautiful. The adult line is named after a little boy named Chance who has special needs. He's a dwarf. He's a little person. And I was inspired by him to do fashion, at 39 years old. And then I met Isabel. I've been doing fashion for a couple of years now. And I had met Isabel and their mom, and they asked me to do a children's line named Bound by the Crown. So I said, yeah, and part of the proceeds go to help children in need. So.
I'm just a kid. I'm having fun. I'm being the best friend forever with everyone. Down by the crown couture. Couture. Down by the crown. Down by the crown couture. Favorite part was the Mommy and Me collection because the outfits match. Like there's like a big outfit of the sparklers, and then the little outfit of the sparklers, and the black one with the feathers, and a little one with the feathers. You and I hope this time never ends.
Surprises? There's definitely more to come.
I'm just a kid. I'm having fun. I'm being the best friend forever with everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're all models wearing your
Yeah, they're all models like doing the runway,
Right,
you know,
right.
things like that. And I think there's some still pictures and stuff like that too of some of the dresses. And you can find us at www.boundbythecrown.
Bound by the Crown.
Yeah, boundbythecrown.com. So.
And the name of the series is called what?
Game of Crowns.
Game of
Yeah,
Crowns.
and it airs the 13th.
July something,
July
right?
13th. Yep.
July
So it's
13th.
going to be.
Oh, I
I'm
think-
actually going to be in California with Chance doing a summer camp because I do a summer camp with Chance every year, like a backyard summer camp, and
Right.
and we. So I'm not gonna be here for the premiere, but yeah.
Well, I think we're on the second. We on the second show or the third show? I know we're on one of the early shows. I interviewed the two.
Oh,
the two
yes,
girls,
I remember. I saw the
and,
pictures.
and
yes,
they
yes.
they made it one of the shows.
Oh, okay. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, they had to sign all these non-disclosure things.
Oh,
I guess
know.
now I can
It's-
talk about it because it's
Yeah.
already going to happen, right?
No, I've heard that there's so many things you have to like, you know, this just it's scrutinized. They scrutinize you so much. Like you have to have everything perfect to be on one of those shows. You have to. It's really.
Yeah, I signed two contracts, and everybody, Corey, John, right? You guys
Yeah.
signed, right? They signed some
Yeah.
non-disclosure things too.
Oh yeah, you have to. I mean, because you know people can say anything nowadays. You know what I mean, and get away
Well, they
with
were
it,
more
you know?
concerned that we were going to let the cat out of the bag that they were doing a show.
Oh,
This is
okay.
before the
Yes,
show
yes, yeah.
was
Yeah,
announced.
yeah.
Now that it's announced, I guess.
Well, yeah,
it's-
everything's like top secret. Like they can't like talk about what's going to happen. You know, I mean, you can see what's going to happen in the previews, but they can't like. I don't even know. Like, I'm very close to Susanna. I talk to her every day because she's
Right.
my partner, and I don't know exactly what's going to be happening on the show either. Like, and I don't, you know,
I'm
so
absolutely
you know, when
sure
we're,
that
like-
she signed the non-disclosure.
yeah, and I have no idea what's going to happen at the. You know, the reunion show. I can't wait for that. You know, when they do the reunion show. So
when she gets together with her arch enemy rival
yeah,
there,
yeah,
whatever it
they'll
is.
be doing that. So
That's crazy.
With the guy who does that show. Oh my God, what's his name? Andy. From,
Oh, yeah.
I actually, it's so funny. I was in California at the pool, at the Montage Hotel, and I was sitting next to these two elderly couples, and I was in the pool with them, and they're like. I said something about being brought up Jewish, and they're like, I knew you were Jewish. I knew. And they're like, so we were talking. They're like, Andy, not Kaufman. Oh my gosh.
Andy Hoffman? No.
No, I can't remember his last name right now. I'm so sorry. Cohen. Andy Cohen. I apologize, Andy, but I met your aunt and uncle in the pool, and we were chatting about you. What an awesome guy you were, and for a couple hours, and they were just wonderful. We were having martinis in the pool together, and
Well,
it was
that's
just,
nothing to apologize
yeah. Forgetting his last name. I'm sorry about that, because I've watched your show from the first one.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. So.
All right. Well, it's great to have you here.
Thank you so much. This is quite an honor. It is. First time I've been on. You know, I've known you for so long, so this is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, and I wish you a lot of
Thank you, and God bless you, and I hope that you
lot
get
of
well
success.
very soon.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Someday I'll get all better. We're gonna have another song with our good friend Mark Cutler.
There's a place called a hideaway, and it's filled up every single day. And in a corner, a match is lit, and a man and woman share a cigarette. Next to them, a man drinks alone. He's a man, he don't wanna go home. There's a bar around the corner. In the morning, they had a fight. He kept that mood through the night. Later on at the hideaway, parked his car, she didn't see it. Now he's stumbling through the door and the bartender wanna give one more. And there's a bar around the corner and across the deep blue sea there's a man who drinks alone, and today the man is me. Then one day, well, he tried to stop. His good time buddies wouldn't let up. Why can't you be one of the guys? You're gonna let somebody run your life. Gotta show who's the boss, and you gotta choose, it's her or us. There's a bar around the corner and across the deep blue sea there's a man who drinks alone, and today the man is me. There's a bar around the corner and across the deep blue sea there's a man who drinks alone, and today the man is me. Thank you. Laying down in front of a fan on a rainy afternoon. TV's on, we're all alone. We're doing things that we like to do. We're doing things that we like to do. Singing songs and playing guitars. Harmonies weave with you. Doesn't matter if nobody hears. We're just doing things that we like to do. We're doing things that we like to do. When I'm all alone, well, that's okay, and that's alright. You know I'm feeling good, I'm feeling fine. You can rest your mind. Foggy night, nothing inside. I hear a horn play a wistful tune. Sad and low and kinda blue. We're doing things that we like to do. We're doing things that we like to do. When I'm all alone, well, that's okay, when that's alright. You know I'm feeling good, I'm feeling fine. You can rest your mind. Foggy night, nothing inside. I hear a horn play a wistful tune. Sad and low and kinda blue. We're doing things that we like to do. We're doing things that we like to do. We're doing things that we like to do. Just doing things that we like to do. Thank you, gentlemen.